welcome to Shannon Confidential. Shannon Confidential is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. And there is so much in between in life, especially now. And that's, family issues, friend issues, money issue, work issues, no work issues, pet issues, whatever it is. Good, things go great. It doesn't matter who you are, what you identify as, what you refuse to identify as, what religion, how much money you make. It really, I don't care. It doesn't matter. We're all humans in this world and we all go through it. So it doesn't matter. We're all the same. And today, this is the first time I have my lovely daughter Taylor is going to begin guest hosting with me. Shannon Confidential, I'm so excited. And our first episode that we're going to do together is basically dating hell. Now, I have a wonderful Matthew, so I'm not going to necessarily contribute to this, even though I probably could from before.
But I'm single and I can.
She's very single and she has quite the stories. So this episode, I'm pretty much going to turn it over to Taylor and try not to have mom ears, but and see what goes on in the world of dating. So Taylor?
Well, in the world of dating, it's basically just in Broward County or South Florida in general. It's just a giant cesspool of
Nice.
Just
My daughter's jumping into a cesspool.
just really you don't know what you're gonna get. I'm on every single app. Like literally, I'm on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. There's more. Hang on, I can't remember.
Are there ones that are better than others?
Yeah, no. So Tinder's...
As far as like less toxic and...
So Tinder is, I've never met anyone off of Tinder. I don't think I ever will. Tinder is just...
I always thought Tinder was like...
Or if you just want to find like,
a hookup?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought. I thought Tinder was like...
Yeah.
Whatever that means, but...
But I also know people that like when Tinder first came out, they were getting married and they met off of Tinder.
Okay,
whatever.
Well,
but
Tinder, we love you.
I would rank Tinder at the bottom. I would then do Bumble, and it's just like a little bit better of choices. And then I think Hinge is the best.
When you say choices, you're being like the guys.
Yeah.
Do they
like,
look better?
They
or
look better.
They have better profiles, or they're more normal?
They
like,
have
what is
more
better?
of their life together.
Okay.
Like you find like any of the apps where like.
What about like Match and eHarmony and all that?
So I'm 23. I'm not on those because I don't want a boyfriend. Yeah.
Isn't there one like for farmers, like cowboys, farmers?
Yeah, Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
Like the farmer one. But no, I'm on these apps just because like if I do meet somebody, then I meet somebody. And like if I don't, then I go out to dinner and whatever. But the goal isn't to get a boyfriend out of these because I'm very, very happy with where I am in life.
She's kind of tough, gotta tell ya. Kind of secure in her own skin.
Very, very, and secure enough so I don't.
You need
think
to
that
settle.
anyone
You're not
could-
gonna settle. She ain't gonna settle.
No one could benefit my life more than I already do myself. So.
Amen.
So I'm on these just like. Testing out the waters, seeing what's around here. And I have in the past met like really incredible people that I'm still friends with and I still keep in contact with. But I've also had horror stories from these. And you just don't know who you're going to meet on any of these. Like you could be messaging and it's foolish to think that, out of 8 billion people in the world, that majority of these people can actually have like a reasonable, intelligent conversation with you and you don't lose brain cells. And like you just don't wonder, like, where are you from? Like I matched this guy like a week and a half ago on Hinge and we're actually supposed to get dinner tonight. But I stopped answering him like 3 days ago because I kind of had a feeling that he was a crackhead, but I didn't.
Literally a crackhead?
So just the way that he talks.
It wasn't the spoon or anything in one of his. No, just kidding.
No. So
not that I even know if that's how you do crack, but I watch TV.
So we in South Florida, this is actually like one of the top places to come for recovery. So you have tons of people that are down here, and they're
not
like
that there's anything wrong. You're trying to get your life just full disclosure.
But don't come in my life.
Yeah.
There's not get your life together, but don't mess with mine. But
don't fall off the wagon here.
Yeah, just focus on you. That's just not something I want any part of. I've already dealt with that. But he he was like, oh, I just moved down to South Florida from LA, and then before that he lived in like Minnesota, and just like the way that he was talking, like he was so nice to me, but he was like, I'm not exaggerating, he literally sent me like, I sent him maybe 5 texts, and then he responded with like a novel that I had to scroll like 4 times to read the whole thing, of him saying that I've never felt this way about someone in a decade. And that
a little too much too soon.
You know, just
Not
and then
physically laid eyes on him yet.
no, and like he was like he went. I didn't even give him my social media, but he found my social media, and he's like, "You're amazing," and then I found out that you cook, and you know, I've never felt this way in a
She's
decade.
an amazing cook, like crazy amazing.
I mean, I get
Taylor
it.
cooking her best, I think, is like the social. It's like amazing.
I'm gonna date you, Taylor.
I mean, I get it, but like this guy just like literally poured his heart out, and then he did it like.
Which
4
you
more
don't
times.
like, it's like kind of sweet, but just a little
Kinda
intense.
stalker.
It was very sweet, but like I didn't give him any fuel to like make him think that like I
You were like
felt that way, or
yeah.
it's going to be reciprocated, or like it was just very, very strange. So, you know, he was just like texting me, and like I was just like saying like quick responses, like I don't care to text, like I don't want to, like I'm an adult, like I don't want to pour my heart out through text, like we can have a conversation.
I kind of don't know you. So.
Yeah, and like I don't know you, B, and C, like so he just was like sending me these messages. I was like, yeah, and he was like, you know, we could do something, or if you don't care, like if you just really want to meet me, I'm like, well, we can get dinner, like I'll just get dinner with you. And then he's
I
like,
could do
well,
a drive-by.
he's like, well, where do you want to go, blah blah. I'm like, sushi, like that's super casual. Like this guy's, now I don't date young, but this guy was 24. I'm 23. Like I usually date guys late
Double.
20s, 30s, mid 30s, and like that's just what I'm compatible with. And like this guy was 24, so I'm like, okay, he can't afford to take me anywhere.
Real young. He's a baby.
So we'll just go to sushi. We'll go to Fat Boy or whatever down the street. And then he sends me, and he's like, well, I've never had sushi at a restaurant before. So
Only
you're gonna,
7-Eleven.
You're gonna have to empty out your purse, because you're gonna have to make room for a V card. I'm like, wait, what? You're gonna
What's a
V
He
card?
goes, you're gonna pop a cherry. I'm like,
What?
A, that's weird. B,
Oh my
Ew.
God.
I have no problem teaching these boys a thing or two, but chopsticks isn't one of them. Like, I'm not gonna teach you how to freaking hold
Oh my
chopsticks.
God.
We just have nothing in common. Like, if you can't,
Well, you could always get the little kid ones where it's got the little paper.
You know,
But
it's
like-
actually socially acceptable to eat sushi with your fingers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
What can I say?
but
You
it's
should,
like, you
but-
know, I've been
Well,
to
there's certain ones you
18
have to, but-
countries. I've been to 4 countries by myself. I've been to almost every single state in the United
Yeah.
States. Like, I have forced myself to not live under a rock, and I have forced myself to experience
Life.
life. And I just, you know, this guy, he just, what was he gonna have in common with me? You know,
Not a whole bunch.
So
But where did you find that he was a crack? Like, where did your
How did you figure
spidey
that
sense
out?
come up?
well, I didn't get a yes, and I didn't get a no, because I asked him. I was like, hey, like, you know, you're just talking kind of funny, and you're acting kind of weird. Like, are you just
Straight
the
up
nicest? I
question,
literally
cool.
asked him. I said, are you the nicest person in the world? Or are you a crackhead? And he's like, he said.
Well, what's your
"I
definition of
can't-"
crackhead?
He says, I like to keep my crackhead crescendo mysterious. So he
Yeah.
might be, he might not be. I don't know.
Okay,
But-
there's just too
What
much weirdness.
next?
Too much weirdness. Yeah, what is it? What do you, I don't
On
know.
to
what it
next
is.
Try
one.
something.
I think the
Swipe.
other,
Click, check, I don't even know anymore.
literally.
I don't really,
So
didn't
I
kind
think-
of ever know.
I think the other, you know, and I get along with everybody, but I think the only 2 like dates from hell that I can think of off of like social media, not social media, like dating apps and stuff, is like 2 years ago when I was actually in your old apartment at the Icon.
Okay.
You and Matthew, you guys were somewhere, and I was watching for it, and I was staying at the apartment.
Oh my
and-
God, your date from hell in my apartment?
No, no,
I
no.
was gonna say.
No. So listen, remember the same doorman that was at that place that the other guy paid to get up to the
Oh yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
that
yes.
was my neighbor, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that guy was still working at the time.
Okay.
And I matched this guy on Bumble. This was like 2 years ago. And we were like, okay, like let's go to dinner. Like it was one of the restaurants like down the street, like on the water. And he was normal. Like he had just gotten out of a relationship. Like we had like a bunch of mutual friends. Like I thought that he was normal.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. I told him to come to the Icon, but wait in the lobby, and I was gonna come down. Like, I have never met this guy. I'm not gonna give him my mom's apartment number. I don't want to let him into my mom's apartment without anyone there, and I'm not gonna let some guy, even if it was my house, you know, I had just met
you. Have to have security.
Exactly. So I told him. I told him just like wait in the lobby or just wait in the loop or whatever, and I'll come out. And he told the doorman that I was expecting him. I never gave him the apartment number. And the doorman let him up.
I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Let him up. So that's how
Mom,
the date started.
keep an eye on your kids.
I was like, I opened the door. I'm like, what are you doing here? And like, being a woman, you know, we're always on guard. Like we're always looking over our shoulder. Like you don't walk to your car at night. You don't run at night. You don't talk to strangers. Like you avoid eye contact because that just opens a door for
makes
crazy.
everybody think you're a bitch. I mean, but you got to do it for your own safety.
Literally everything that you do, you're on guard. So now I have a literal stranger trying to get into your apartment, and he kind of just doesn't see the issue with that because he's a dude, and he isn't. You know,
not only you told him not to.
I told him not to.
I just don't get that. It's like, oh, I didn't realize, but you specifically said not to.
If men are raised properly by a woman, then they know you don't do that. But he obviously wasn't. So he just like is standing out in your apartment, and I'm just like, you weren't like I was making it very clear that I was uncomfortable. I'm like, you were not supposed to be here. Like, why did you come up here? Like, I was gonna meet you down there. I don't know what. You like, why are you up here? Like, we're just gonna have to walk down now.
Now, if you just a little disclosure on Taylor, if she gets like a little annoyed or has a question or is even slightly angry with you, she's gonna go at you right then and there. So it's not surprising that she was like, "What are you doing? Why are you at this door?"
Beat around the
this
bush.
is exactly who she is. She lays. There's no sugarcoating anything.
No. So I had him wait in the kitchen. I'm like, hang on 1 second. So I went into the bathroom and I called downstairs, and he probably heard me, but I bitched out the guy at the front desk. I am like, at that time I was 21. I'm like, I'm 21 and you just let a stranger up into my apartment, and I never even gave him the room number. Why did you never even, and he never even called. And then they
never called to say something was coming.
He never called. You always call. Like, he never called.
This is like the trifecta of.
I said, what are you doing? Like, this is a huge security, like, hazard risk.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, do you need help? I'm like, I don't know. I'll call you if I do. Like,
Jesus.
I'm trying to come downstairs. I'm trying to get this guy out of my apartment now. So, anyway, like, I was trying not to I was like, okay, like, that's wrong that he did that.
So let's, like, get out.
Yeah, that's weird. But, let's try to see if this is going to work. So we go and we have dinner, and the music that he was playing on the way there was just horrible. Like, I hate just, like, modern day hip hop rap. I think it's horrible. Horrible.
Okay.
I just don't.
Not
it's
your thing.
catchy. It's catchy, and that's why it's popular, and people don't know better to listen to anything other than that. But
hate it.
Anyway, so this guy obviously can't reach out and expand his own music taste. He has to go through whatever's, trending, which is turn off for me. And then and then we get to the restaurant, and he doesn't tip the valet guys, which is just rude. And then we're sitting at the table, and he does nothing but complain about the live music that's there because he doesn't like violins. No, he doesn't like saxophone. Who doesn't like a sax?
Saxophone's more down here.
My first wedding,
it was a sax. It was jazz. So he's complaining all about like live music. So like, okay,
just wasn't a good vibe.
It was just like a horrible vibe. And then like he's like, so like now, like, he could just tell that I wasn't having a good time because like I couldn't even have a conversation with this guy about anything. He was complaining about everything. He wouldn't stop talking about his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, that's enough said right there. It's like you just don't talk about your exes when you're on a date with anybody.
I guess they broke up like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks before that, because they had like some like sunglass line together they still had to like work together with. But I guess he must have posted something about him being on Las Olas or something, but she must have maybe had his location, but she knew that he was on a date. So during the date, she's calling him like 15 times, and he's like, "Here we go again," and like he makes like a joke out of it, and like,
You're like, no, it's really not funny.
it's not funny. Like, you're just wasting my time here. And then he's like, so like he just like then realized like maybe like 2 hours into it that I just was having like the worst time ever.
Took him 2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah. And he was like, so I'm probably never gonna see you again, huh? I'm like, no. I literally said no. I'm like,
oh
no.
my God. That's
and then
crazy.
he's like, well, can I take you home? And I'm like, no. Like, I just said no to you, and I watched enough Criminal Minds. Like, you're probably about to go crazy. Like, I'm not gonna let you take me home. You're gonna freaking put me on the bottom of the ocean. So, those are I have one more actually.
Okay, go for it.
So, I gave this guy a chance. He wasn't in the best shape, and he was a really, really nice guy. And I had him meet me for like not brunch, but like a late breakfast, like right outside when I lived at the at Broadstone.
Okay.
And there was this place called Fresh First, like that was like literally right downstairs. And it's like they have like all like this like fresh ingredients, really, really good stuff. A bunch of vegan options, but even like their eggs Benedict was like on like this like waffle, and like it was just like really good stuff. And like their sodas there, they have really good juices and smoothies and everything like that, but they also have like sodas, but they're not like super high sugar and
Well, it's a healthy
for you.
place. It's a
Exactly.
healthy
So they
place,
had
so.
healthy sodas. And he walks in and he meets me. He's looking at the menu. And I'm like, "You good? Like,
Wow.
What's up?" And the waitress comes. She's like, "Hi, can I get you guys something to drink?" And I knew that this guy, he mentioned before, like on one of our past dates, like because we just went to like the Hard Rock for one of them, and like we went to like a sushi restaurant. So I never really had like an idea of like what his like regular diet was, but he did jokingly mention one time that his diet is steak and potatoes and Coke. So the lady asks what he wants to drink, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll take a Coca-Cola." And she's like, "Oh, we don't have that." He's like, he has like a mini panic attack. He's like, what do you mean you don't have Coca-Cola? And she's like, "We have these sodas like over here. Like we have something that's like Coca-Cola, but it's just like a little bit healthier." And he's like, I just need a second. I just need a second. So like he's just like looking.
Too dramatic.
I don't even remember what he got to drink instead of that. Like maybe a water, but like he doesn't even drink water. And like that was like a huge turn off. And then I realized like I can't date somebody that doesn't drink water. So, so like that's like a big thing. So, and then like he wants to order, and he's just like look at the menu, and he's just like seeing vegetables for like the first time in his life on like a dish.
What is asparagus? What is asparagus?
Spinach. So, so like he's having like a mini panic attack, and like the whole story was like I just like didn't go on a third date with this guy because like I was just like, okay, you're in such poor health, and like you won't even drink a glass of water.
Yeah, so
and like
you're gonna end up in the hospital.
Scares you. So
Maybe get a life insurance policy on it.
Go. There you go.
yeah, right.
Then we were watching you on Criminal Minds.
Yeah, full sarcasm.
Well, thank you for giving us your dating hell experiences. I thought I was going to have to hear something that I would have to try really hard to unhear. That was never going to happen.
Today was G-rated.
Yeah, today was G-rated. But we'll come back with another episode with Taylor. But I want to thank you all for being with us. So now we're going to go into the Be Kind quote of the day. And this one is, I refer to it as a barbarism, and that would be a reference to Lacey's just knowledgeable mom that always has one of those quick-witted quotes for everything. And since we were talking about online dating and not being able to find that compatible person, or in Taylor's instance, like that perfection. Anyway, so don't get your heart broken if you haven't found the white one. If you're Elmer Fudd, if you want to find the white one. In any case, if you haven't found the right person and you're still looking out there and you're just getting let down, ladies, do not get your heart broken. That's just the trash taking itself out. we are for our style secrets. And again, I'm going to turn it over to Taylor because she did a purchase that she would like to tell all of you about, and she wants to share her experience with you.
So it's called Poshmark.
Poshmark? Poshmark? The app?
Yeah.
I'm on Poshmark.
Yes.
I'm on Poshmark. I'm a
your
newbie.
Username.
All right. At Shannon0077.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, so sorry to interrupt you.
So you can sell all of like your used anything, designer stuff. I have stuff on there too, but I buy a lot of stuff on there because it's basically just like a giant online thrift store, but you get really, really good stuff and very gently worn, like high-end things that are straight out of the box, but they're like impossible to find. So what I've been like looking for so long are these square toe like black boots, and like I want like the tight leather fit. Like it's very hard to find them, and the only people that do that is back in the 80s, and Steve Madden had a shoe that was perfect.
An 80s girl.
Found that shoe on Poshmark.
If you didn't know, I was a hand model.
So I found the shoe and I paid $45 for them, and they literally have not one scratch.
I was going to say, the bottom doesn't even look like they've been stepped in.
And they're from the 80s. And
they're from the 80s. There is a certificate that said 80s certified.
I'm thinking Steve Madden might have been 90s, but I'm just saying.
Maybe he wasn't popular in the 80s.
Maybe these are 90s shoes.
That look like 80s shoes. Maybe they're retro shoes.
But they're Steve Madden.
Anyway, they're cool. Steve Madden, they're cool looking shoes. Poshmark, Shannon0077 if you want my stuff. It's all my work stuff, so it's just office stuff. Because once I started doing the podcast, as you could tell, the suits, the dresses, they all went away. But this is not about me. Taylor's shoes at Poshmark. I will link you guys up.
80s, 90s, we don't know.
Who knows
Early
anymore?
2000s, baby. But they look 80s.
Whatever decade. They got it all. Thank you. Welcome to our segment called Confidential Questions, and that is when I invite all of you to email me. Email me the thoughts on a past episode, email me thoughts on an episode you would like, comments, questions, ideas, anything. I love them. I love hearing from you. I love all of the contact that I've gotten so far and the show ideas, and you can contact me by my email on shannonconfidential007@gmail.com. Of course, you can always contact me through messaging me on my social media. And you can follow me on Facebook at Shannon Confidential, Instagram at Shannon_confidential, Twitter at ShannonConfide7, YouTube, of course, at Shannon Confidential, and Apple Podcast at Shannon Confidential. So I am so excited. I have wonderful merchandise, Dar's Designs. I will link you guys up. She's got everything, and she's so easy to work with. See you next week.